So quantitative trade policy information and analysis are necessary nowadays than they have ever been for three major reasons. The first reason has to do with globalization and trade openness, which has become contentious issues. Then it is always very good to know whether you're actually making gains from your trade or you are not. And most importantly, we need to quickly understand the impact of so many trade reforms going on within our countries. So it is therefore very important for policymakers and other trade policy stakeholders to have access to detailed, reliable information and analysis on the effect of trade policies. You know, for instance, so many countries have tariff commitments, market access problems, trade creation difficulties, trade diversion, and so on and so forth. And we need to look at the effect of many of these things, as well as what could be the effect of preferential trade agreements. So all these require sound knowledge of how to analyze trade policy. And my own aspect is to teach you, or at least to go through with you, the methodology of doing that, believing that you have some basic knowledge of international trade. I mean the theory. And even if you don't understand the theory, then you have some textbook that can easily guide you. But here we are going to be dealing more with the practical aspects, the modeling aspects in particular. So anytime you want to analyze trade policy, there are so many approaches that you can adopt. You can choose between descriptive statistics and modeling approaches. You can choose between econometric estimation and simulation. Depending on your objective, is it an ex ante or ex post? Or do you really want to examine partial or general equilibrium? These are various methods of dealing with trade policy analysis. So when I talk of ex ante, for instance, the simulation involves projecting what the effect of a policy change could be on a set of economic variables. While in terms of ex post, what we normally do is we use historical data to analyze the effect of past trade policy. And most of the time we rely on econometric techniques to do this. We can make a lot of forecasts. We are going to be doing that. Then, if you are dealing with ex ante, then you'll be thinking of partial equilibrium or general equilibrium approaches. Partial equilibrium analysis focus on one or multiple specific markets or products, ignoring the link between the factor incomes and expenditure. While general equilibrium account for all the links between various sectors in your economy, household, firms, governments, and so on and so forth. So, in econometric models, parameter values are estimated using statistical techniques, and they come with confidence intervals, significant levels, and so on. In simulations, what you are doing is calibration most of the time. And you normally have this choice of what method am I going to use? It's very, very important that you understand the objective. You must ask yourself, is econometrics the technique of choice? Should I use partial equilibrium? Under what conditions should I use computable general equilibrium? Should I just stick with simulation or calibration? Or should I engage in mixture of some of these methods? Let us look at some guiding principles. Running regressions, for instance, require sufficient time series or cross-section data. Or if you want to simulate, the calibration of a partial equilibrium model will require, doesn't really require the time series, but you need information from various studies that have been done. For instance, previous works on elasticities and so on and so forth. But the beauty of trade policy analysis is that you can actually combine some of these methodologies. But whatever you are trying to do, you must always start with descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics always pave way for more sophisticated analysis. And that is why you must be able to provide the descriptive statistics such as mean, median, minimum, maximum, number of observations, drawing bar charts, graphs, line graphs, pie charts, histogram, all these kind of descriptive ways of providing information about our data. I hope you can do you can do that using our software. Yes or no?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, okay. I can see, I can hear a mixture of responses. But I think we've done something like that. Yes or no?
Yes, we did.
Aha. Then in case you have forgotten some of these things, maybe you can go to, I think I directed you to my simple site. I have a very small website where you can see some of these things so that you can repeat them, learn them yourself. How many of you have visited that site before? Our agrometrics.
You mean the one which has got videos, Prof?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have, Prof.
Oh, so I advise you to go there because it's going to save us a lot of time. Yeah. And if you have any question on some of those things, then you can actually maybe call me. Or because one thing about practical is that you have to do it yourself. There is no shortcut. You just have to do it yourself, get data, and try to run some of these things. Or you experiment with the data there and try to replicate some of those things. That is the approach. Because you have to be familiar with some of these methodologies. Very, very, very important. Not only because of exams or something, but because of your project and so many other things that you'll be doing concerning where you are working. So when assessing the distributional effect of trade policy, it can be useful to combine approaches, as I said earlier. The effect of changes in tariff on pricing can be estimated econometrically. why you can use simulation to look at what the effect of the price changes will be on income. But whatever what you have done, the method you have used whatsoever, the most important aspect is you have to present your results in a clear and articulate way. Your result must be very, very clear. You yourself must understand what you are doing. So, and you should be able to make it very simple such that policy analysts can understand what you are trying to do at all time. So it is very, very vital. You must understand assumptions, underline whatever approach you want to use. I should be able to explain your results. So in analyzing trade flow, for instance, you must be able to access trade database. We are going to consider some of them very soon. You must be able to know what are the key measurements you use that you have to engage yourself in. You have to understand trade performance indices. We are going to look at some of those things and how to measure them. And you should be able to display the data graphically in a clear and appealing way. Then you should be able to get other descriptive statistics. So these are preliminary things you need anytime you want to analyze trade. So we are starting with trade performance. Trade performance. So in considering trade performance, there are three questions that must always come to your mind. Number one, how much does a country trade? Number two, what does it trade? What are the commodities of interest? Then, with whom does it trade? That's very, very important. Maybe the case of how much, definitely, you may not know that until we get the database. I will take you there very soon. But by now, at least, you are from Eswatini. If you know the commodities you are trading with, what are your trading commodities there? Tradables. Give me one.
Concentrate.
Concentrate. Sugar cane. Is it sugar cane or sugar?
No, I mean sugar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the tradable there is sugar. Yeah, we have sugar there. Mention another one.
Yeah.
It's kind products, citrus fruits, Prof.
Which one?
Citrus fruits.
Okay, yes.
And beef, meat.
Yeah, meat, generally, and so on and so forth. In fact, if you just go to, even if you don't remember anything, just take a walk to Pick and Pay or Spa or any of these. Definitely, you will quickly understand, because most of those things are actually imported to your country. It's not that you produce most of them here, actually. Or maybe you just walk into hi-fi, you will see so many things. So that you understand the commodities of trade. But if you want to answer the next question, with whom? Who is your major trade partner?
South Africa.
Yeah, I know. It's South Africa, very correct, because and to me that should be a matter for concern, and to me that should be what I think some of you should take up if you want to do a project on analysis of trade policy. You should be able to be thinking of either trade diversion or trade creation, at least you'll be thinking beyond trading with South Africa alone and so on, because more than 70% of your trade has to do with South Africa, and that's a fact. So how much is related to the concept of trade openness? Trade openness means the ability to integrate a country into the world trade circuits. So trade openness is an indicator of policy performance in as much as it results from policy choices. Yeah, I think we should, there are some disturbances, please. Maybe you switch off some radio set or maybe your phone or something. Okay. So then we have trade barriers that we need to understand, geographical barriers. Because for instance, the big question is, why are you trading with, why is South Africa your major trade partner? Why not other countries? Yeah, it could be because of the geographical closeness. And who knows? But the big question would be, it could be because of the influence of South Africa within the SADC or SACU and so on and so forth. So we really want to know, because I think one thing that African Union is trying to promote is trade within Africa, so that we call that one intra-trade. So another measure of the integration of a country into the world economy, apart from openness, is what is called global value chains. So we have what is called global value chain index. So we are going to be looking at how to construct some of these things. Another one is what is called offshoring. Another measure is what is called vertical specialization. So we're going to be looking at some of these things actually, and we look at them into details. So the question of what is also directly linked to the question of diversification of a country's exports. So we examine how to access properly the degree of diversification. How do you measure diversification? We'll be focusing on Affindal index and how to calculate it and so on and so forth. So we'll be dealing with some of these performance indices. With whom? What is the characteristics of your trading partner? And how does characteristics of your trading partner affect you? Affect the nature of the markets? So then what determines right partner? Yeah, we have to understand some of these things. Then there is what is called trade complementarity. It's also a measure of trade performance with respect to whom you are actually trading with. So let us start with trade openness. Please, I want you to pay more attention now, because we'll be doing some practicals here and there and so on. So the most natural way, the most natural measure of countries' integration in world trade circuits is the degree of the openness. Let X, M, Y be respective countries' total export, total import, and GDP. You calculate your openness ratio as addition of the export and import, and you divide it by the GDP. So the higher the openness index, the more open is the country. And we have this measure, this openness. You can get it from pen word table. I'm going to show you because this is very, very important. I will show you how to get to pen word table. Have you worked with pen word table before? Anybody?
No, Prof.
No.
No, okay.
No.
All right, I will show you how to get there now. So we need to Can you all see this Google?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Prof.
Okay,
Yes, Prof.
that's all right. So you will let me go to this Google. I want to show you how to get it. So here you will type pen. That pen is PENN. Pen word table. You can see it, pen word tables. Yeah. I hope you can see it clearly.
Yes, Prof.
That's all right. So let's access it. So you come here. This is PWT 9.1 is the latest, September 2019. So the data is compiled by University of Groningen. I think this is the kind of a thing I think we should be doing also in Africa. Most of these data are collected by these developed worlds. So we need to be collecting data too. How many of you are working with Eswatini Statistical Office?
Me, the Minister of Agriculture, Prof.
No, I'm not talking of Minister of Agriculture. The main body that should collect statistics for the nation should be the Statistical Office. Yeah, now this is the PWT. So let's come. The way to use it, I will show you. Try to download this. You can see user guide. Download this user guide and read it. This is very important. I think it's about 4 pages. So you click on it. It's about 4 pages. So try to read it so that you understand details of the data. So you can see it. User guide to pen word table 9.1 data file. So you read it so that you understand it. But let's come back here. Scroll down. So here my interest is trade details. So I click on trade details because so you have seen that I have downloaded it. Oh, you know this is PWT 91 trade detail DTA. DTA means it is starter data. So, and I'm going to show you how to open it in R. Show in folder. So let me copy it and put it on desktop so that then I will show you how to import it and do a few things with it. So copy. So I want to place it on my desktop. Okay, let me place it in AEM 636 folder. So it's already pasted in AM636 folder. So let's now open. Tommy. So I want to share the R. Okay, the R is not here. So sorry. So let me open my R so that I'll be able to share it. Okay. Yeah, it's the R. Yeah, can you all see this R now?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, that's good. So what you need to do, now you should be familiar with it now. So you set your working directory. I save it in AM636 folder. So I say choose directory so that I'm going to make AM636 my working directory. Is it here? Open. So that's good. So then I come here, I click on file. So I have the file here. So let me look for PWT. That I sent to it. So this is it. So you click on it, you say import data sets. Import data sets. So let's wait and retrieve the data. Okay. Let's call it PWT1. Just rename it. Click anywhere. So it's going to retrieve it again. So you can see it now. We have 3-letter ISO code, price level of food and beverage exports, price level of industrial supply. There are so many things there. So let us import it so that you can see it clear in a clearer way. So this is the data set. But please listen very well. When you have it this way, I normally advise that you write it in Excel formats. It's always easier to work with it in Excel form than in this format. But you can look at what the variable means before you write it. We have the country code. We have price level of food and beverages, price level of industrial supply, price level of fuel and lubricants, price level of capital goods exports, price level of transport equipment, and so on and so forth. But the one that has to do with what we want is actually, you have the share, but I'm coming. The one that has to do with openness is this, we have share of exports at current PPS, then share of imports at current PPS. So when we add this export share and import share together, then we have our openness. But let us write it in you create a script file. So we say write.csv. What do I want to write? PWT1, comma. And where do I want to put it? I want to put it in my working directory. So let's have it here. I copy this, copy, put it here, paste, then say slash the pwt1.csv, not CX, CSV. If you have done it, let's run it. Run. Yeah. So, which means I now have it in my AM636, but it will not show here until I set the working directory again. So let me set it again. I say choose directory. I still maintain my 636. I say open. Now you can see that it's going to be here now. So let's look for PWT1. This is it, now in Excel form. So let us open it, import data set. So open. Yeah. So this is the data set. And if you want to, let us say fix. I'm coming. Let us continue to work with. Okay, so fix EWT1. So this is the data set. Let us open the Excel form of the data. No, this is not the Excel form. So now you can see we have country code, ABW, and so on and so forth. Your own country code is, that is for Swaziland. For Swaziland is SWZ. And you can extract it. You can filter You can filter. Do you know how to filter and extract that of your country? Yes or no? Yeah? You have to understand how to do these things, sincerely. Are we together?
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say I want to extract information concerning Eswatini. Then you will need a package to do that, which is GPLYR. So I say library. Library. GPLYR. So let's run this. Okay. So what do I want to do now? I want to create PWT, let's say PWT Eswatini, ESW. So I want to extract it from PWT. So I say PWT1, then percent greater percent. Then what do I want to do? Filter. Filter. What do I want to filter? You have to know the column name. So the column name is country code. Country code. So I want to filter country code. Filter country, country code equals, that is in quotes now, and a capital SWZ. That is your country code. So if we have done that, let's run it and be sure it's working. So if it's correct, let's say add to get the first 6 observations. Let's say tail, the last one. Tail PWT ESW. Yeah, you can now see all this information now will be for Eswatini alone. Yeah, you can see the country code now. It's SWZ, SWZ, SWZ. You can't get any other country apart from that. Did you understand what I've done?
With practice, yeah.
Yeah, no, tail means the last 6 observations. That is the meaning of tail. If you say head, it means the first 6 observations. Yeah. Just to show a little sample of what you have done, that's all. So let's go back to our notes. So that is how to obtain trade openness data. It's very straightforward to do. So the trade openness, you see, the last 2, which is CSHX is X over Y. The other one is CSHM, which is M. So you add the two to get your openness index. That is how to work with it. But if you don't want to make use of pen word table, you can actually maybe get your own information. For instance, now you can get the GDP for your country over the years, which is very simple. Then you can get the volume of, values of exports, value of imports over the same length of year. Then you get your population. So you can actually calculate your GDP yourself without extracting it from PWT websites. So this is what I've tried to do here. So, and what I generated, I call it open.csv. So it was actually generated for so many countries in the world. So we have the data. And please, I want you to take note, because you already have this note. It's good to go through it yourself, so that if you have any problem, you let me know. If you look at whether you are using pen word table or you collect the data yourself and try to calculate the openness, one problem that you will encounter is NA, which is missing values. So how do I know delete all the missing values so that I am left with a clean data without any missing value? What we do is the name of the data, then complete.cases is what you do. Then to draw the graph, don't forget you need ggplot too. So, and you have it here. I advise that you try it yourself and draw it. If you have done it, here is openness again, GDP per capita. This is what I've tried to do here. And I think what I'm going to do is I will send the data set to you. That is open.csv data. The data runs from 1976 to 2004. And you can update it yourself if you want. Or you can maybe make use of pen word table, or you can get the data from your own country. That's very important. But make sure that you practice it very well. So this is just explaining the outliers in the data sets based on the ggplot that we have done, drawn. So, but no matter what you have done with openness, you have to be very careful in interpreting the data, the results, because run openness has information about other countries, and so it needs certain adjustment before you can use it for cross-country comparison. For instance, higher ratio of trade to GDP for Belgium may be higher than that of US, basically because of the size of the economy and nothing more. So, and that is why most of the time I normally advise on making use of per capita, comparing with per capita GDP, so that you will have divided by the population of the country before you make your logical conclusion. Yeah. Then there are so many works that have been done on factors that may influence openness of a country. We have openness and growth, openness and revenue, openness and productivity, openness and poverty. So many regression analysis that have been done, for which you can actually review and see what you can do. This is a typical example. So you have an assignment to do so that we know that at least you have a fair understanding of what I'm talking about. Your assignment is to extract trade openness indices. So you extract trade openness indices and per capita GDP for SADC countries from 1970 to 2019. Then graphically illustrate the relationship between the two variables in the region. Provide adequate explanation for your observations. So number 2, review critically 2 articles on how trade liberalization. Measure of trade liberalization here now is our trade openness. How trade liberalization affects rural economy. I'm giving you hint here. You may review work on trade liberalization and poverty, trade liberalization and tax revenue, trade liberalization and agricultural performance, trade liberalization and economic growth, and so on and so forth. So there are so many things that you can do around this. So this is an assignment we have to do. And I expect this assignment to be done. Today is the last day in the month of May. So before next Saturday, that is before next Saturday will be what? June 6th. So I expect you to have done this and submit. Just send it to my email. This is very important. And if you have any question on it, let me know. Yeah. Any question before we move to another measure of performance?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, what's your question?
Yes, maybe I joined a bit later, but my question is, can you just summarize for me shortly about the openness? We are talking about openness here.
Okay. When you talk of openness of an economy,
Yes.
the extent to which your country integrates into the world trade.
Okay.
Yeah. So how much extent, to what extent are you participating in what trade? That is the bottom line. Are you open enough for others to trade with you? Or are you actually trading with others?
Okay.
That is the measure. So in order to calculate it, we say that you had your value of import plus your value of export, and you value of import and value of export, then you divide by your GDP. That is how to measure it.
Okay.
Then I was now illustrating where you can get the information So that that's why I took all of you to pen word table, where you have information on the ratio of exports to GDP and ratio of imports to GDP. So, and I said by the time you add the two together, definitely you have your openness index. And we are now seeing so many things can influence openness, for instance. Then we want to look at, is openness actually related to poverty in your country? Is it related to rural economy? Is it related to economic growth? Is it related to agricultural performance? And so on and so forth. So depending on, so I said you have to review so at least 2 articles along the line. Then I gave you an assignment. Just try to calculate the trade openness indices for all the countries in SADC. So you can see clearly, by the time you draw the graph, you will see those that are open and those that are not open, and so on and so forth. I hope it's clear.
Perfect, Prof. It's just that, yeah, perfect. It's just that the problem will be with operating the R so that we can get the graphs and stuff. But the explanation is perfect.
Yeah, okay. And then for the R, there you have to, until, you know, R is practical. So until you have tried it yourself, you may not know how simple it is. So, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I will. Anyway, I will ask for assist from the colleagues. It's fine, Prof.
Okay, yeah, that's all right.
So, sorry, Paul. So, which data set are we going to use? The PWT one.
Pardon?
Which data set are we going to use?
Which
data set?
Data set for openness.
Yes, for the exercise.
Yeah, I've shown you now. You can go directly to pen word table.
Okay.
Pen word table has information from 1970, at least I know from 1950 up to 2017 for all countries in the world. Or another thing you can do is your own country now. You can, if you have your country data set, you can get information. In fact, that one will be. But if you want to do that using your own country data, then you have to get the GDP. You have to get the value of import, the value of export. Those are just the 3 variables. Then you calculate it yourself. Is that clear?
Okay. Yeah, it's clear, Prof.
Okay, yeah. So there is another place where you can get the data. We are coming to that. It is World International Trade Statistics, WITS, or World Integrated Trade Statistics, yeah, WITS. But we're coming to that, and I'm going to show you too. So no problem. But this is the beauty of coming to the class and and getting some things done. So let us look at some other measures of sorry. So another measure of performance is what is called import content of export and external orientation. So the import content of exports is a measure of the, when you are making calls, you are disturbing the class. So if you are making calls, maybe you move out far away, then you come back. So that's why I mean true. So the import content of export is a measure of the outward orientation of an exporting industry. So in order to calculate it, we need to introduce the building blocks. So we need what is called import penetration ratio. And this is what I have here. My MJT is import of goods J in year T. And my CJT is domestic consumption of the same good in the same year. So let us also have YKT and ZJKT to be the industry's output and consumption. Then the imported input share of industry K can be calculated using this formula. So we can go through this formula, but the problem with this import content of export is it requires a lot of data, which to me at times may not be easy to get. So this measure is difficult to calculate because of its heavy data requirements and its dependency on input-output table. So one may think of its primary virtue as serving as a reminder of what the analyst will want to consider. So unless you have access to detailed input-output tables, you may not be able to calculate it yourself. But the joy of this is that WITS actually has information on this import content of export for many countries. And we are going to look at it later and see. I don't know, maybe Swatini is well represented, but we are going to look at it. Another measure is what is called offshoring. So offshoring also is based on availability of input-output table. And we have the formula here is purchase of imported inputs over total input use by different industries, weighted by the ratio of the import of the goods to domestic demand. Also, it's data driven, so it's not that easy, but we can get offshoring calculated for different countries. Also, when we check WITS, we're going to. Then another measure is what is called vertical specialization. So this is very, very straightforward too, but it's data driven because to get imported inputs, not easy. You can get the other things, but it's not easy to calculate it. But you can get information about it also on WITS. So these are various ways of measuring trade performance. Then we have trade composition. The sectoral composition of countries' trade matters for growth. That's very, very important. And this is a very simple index to know, okay, what is the total import or export share of a country in the world. So, and we make use of this when we come to gravity model under our bilateral trade data. So let's move forward. Then we have another way to measure. Hey, my battery is running low. So let me plug my laptop.
Yeah.